Welcome, everybody, to Portland, Oregon. We're back here in the Landia for another track meet. Special evening of fast racing here at Jesuit High School. The Stumptown Twilight, the second marquee event of the season here in Portland, Oregon. Everybody's getting ready for the World Championships down in Eugene, but we have some racing to do here. And I'm joined this evening with Scott Fauble in the booth, and for a bit of time, we have Craig Engels joining us.
Shalom, Jeff. Thanks for having me, brother.
Jeff, I'm looking forward to this. First time on the mic. This is going to be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a couple first-timers.
It's a pleasure having you boys here. And if we could check out how Jesuit High School is beautifully situated in the hills here, a lot of scenic tracks in Oregon. And I like to go through Google Maps just to peruse the the settings of tracks. But this track is home to some of the best performances that we've seen over the last couple years, and actually a few track records that are faster than Hayward Fields. So maybe we'll see some of those go down today.
Yeah, we've seen 12:47 out here.
12:47.
4:19 from Jess Hull.
That's right.
Yeah, there's been some really good races out here, and it couldn't be a better night for it, Jeff.
Thank you, Craig. Yeah, Scott, do you have any time records that come off the top of your head that you can contribute to Jesuit High School here?
Nope. This is the first time I've ever been in the fenced area, and I've got to say, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, Jeff. I think we're in for fast times and beautiful views.
Yeah.
And I will say, if you guys are watching this feed live from Portland, get on out here. It is a beautiful day.
That's right. We're going to have some incredible racing here this evening, some stacked races. As always, we have the ASICS Men's 800, which is first up, followed by the Ciotti Women's 1,500 meters. And then we have the Sport Oregon Men's 1,500 meters, followed by the Women's 800 meters. And then we'll move down to the 5,000s after that. So it's a middle distance evening here at Jesuit High School.
Yeah, Scott, what stands out on the list for you today?
You know, one person that I think most American fans haven't heard of, but I've got my eye on, is Makoto Kaneko, Japanese runner. He's won 4 out of his last 6 races, including his last 3, and he's got a 1:45 PB, and he'll be my pick for this first 800.
These are truly international fields assembled here at the Stumptown Twilight today. And we have, like you said, we have some Japanese runners here with Kaneko. We have some Canadian runners. We have some Mexican runners, some Kenyan athletes. Safan Hassan is running this evening, representing the Netherlands, and she's going to be competing at Worlds down in Eugene later this month. And right now she's listed in the 1,500, 5,000, and 10,000. So we're not sure which one she's going to contest, but she's the Olympic champion, reigning Olympic champion, the 5 and 10,000 meters, and she has bronze in that 1,500. But tonight she's turning her attention to the 5K, and it's her first race of the season. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely insane range from Safan, and I'm really excited to watch her down in Eugene at the World Championships. But first, we get to watch her tonight in person.
That's right. You should be excited about that, Craig. I know you are.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams actually training in Oregon right now for the World Championships that are down in Eugene next week. I know the Irish are down in McKenzie River.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and Safan's back out in Portland. She used to train here for a couple years. The Japanese are out here. Yeah, we've got a whole good squad of internationals.
Yeah, and on an evening like this, we're bringing it to you live and free on YouTube, which is something that we don't normally do. We have a pay-per-view system, but today we're like, let's open it up to everybody heading into the World Championships and just show them what Oregon's all about here. And free entry, too, into the stands, so people will be filtering in there as we get going. Right now, it seems like a lot of them are congregating around the food stand and in the shade.
Craig is just pulling up videos on his phone recklessly.
I'm getting the chat going. I'm looking at the YouTube live chat right now. I want to hear it from you guys. Where are we watching from?
I know there's a big contingent watching out in Bend, Oregon right now. They have the BTC camp tuning in to watch their counselor, Liam Mayrow, run the 1,500.
Oh, we got Matthew from Barbados watching.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the chat. Speaking of McKenzie River, you said that the Irish team is stationed down there. Last year we had a nice little McKenzie International meet during the U.S. trials, and your new teammate Charlie Hunter ran down there. He ran a 1:44.35.
Yep.
And I've heard that he's in fantastic shape right now. And I mean, could you ask for a better evening? And there he is on the screen.
There he is on the screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. We really couldn't ask for a better night. And I'm thinking Charlie's wanting to get out really hard tonight. He just barely missed the World Championship standard this year, so he's going to want to go through that 400 really hard, hang on through 600, and then close hard.
Ran a 1:45.58 at the Portland Track Festival. And I believe he placed third there, if I'm not mistaken. So there he is. We know that the pace is going to be going out decently hot. I think it's slated for a sub 51 or around 50.5 for that. But a lot of other good athletes contesting there as well, and we'll bring you the field as we get closer to it. But, Craig, is there any insider information you can give around Charlie and what he's thinking and what his fitness is like right now?
Charlie stays fit. That's one thing. He's always ready to race. If you knew Charlie from college, he's always a racer. So I think he's trying to get a little bit more time trialing right now, just because we're going for standards for next year, which isn't his forte per se, but he still ran 145 last week or 2 weeks ago, doing a time trial. So hopefully today he can dip under that 145 and secure all the standards he needs for next year. But he's been training well. Watched him do strides yesterday.
Nice. Typically, yeah, the Union Athletics Club, previously known as Pete's Dragons, is not normally a time trialing team, but you're more racing focused, which I enjoy, like Pete's approach in his school of training and racing and trying to get into tough positions and out of them, which you know all too well too on the track. You're not very much of a time trialer. You like to get in and mix it up and throw some elbows with people.
Yeah, the game's changing these days. Everyone just wants to run real fast times and just gets out and gets after it at every single race. So if you're out there in high school and listening, just keep training as hard as you can, like all the rest of the world.
Now, Craig, what would you say is the key to winning at this meet specifically? I'm looking at our cheat sheet here. I'm seeing 2021 champ Craig Engels 146.
Oh yeah, that is.
That's right.
Thanks for bringing that up, guys. Let's talk about 2021.
Won by a mustache there too.
I actually don't even remember the race, if we're being honest.
It was a lean at the tape.
Against?
A fellow from the Air Force.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was clean cut, and you were just wild guns blazing down the home stretch, hair flowing.
Quite the juxtaposition, huh?
Yeah, it was. But you leaned and you took it at the tape. And we got a guy out there, too, looking very good with the flow here.
He runs for Portland State, or used to.
Yeah, I believe that's Chase Lovercheck.
Great name, too.
Mm-hmm. A Portland State Viking. And here we've got Vince Ciotti on the line, too.
Yeah, Vince has had a great year. I know he was probably a little disappointed from the USA Championships, but he's going to be out there looking for revenge tonight.
Yeah, Vince representing Gangrene out there, the Oregon Track Club.
And we got Derek Holdsworth pacing today, yeah?
Holdsworth is, I believe he's in the pacing position. Yeah, he's getting his instructions from Tate Chenbine out there.
Yeah, Derek had a great year. I think he PR'd by 2 seconds, running 145 point, and was looking to do some damage at the U.S. trials this year, or the U.S. Championships.
Yeah, so as back to Fobbs' question here, if you're entering this race, if you're a competitor on this line, taking stock of the field here and what you believe them to do, what would be your approach to win this race?
I'm guessing Holdsworth is going to get out in the prescribed pace of 51. Charlie's going to be right on him, and anyone else searching for a fast time. So I'd try and get right behind Charlie, sit on him for another couple hundred meters, and then throw an elbow or two. Yeah.
Weave through traffic down the straight.
Weave through traffic, yeah. I'm always a last 100 type guy, so I'm pretty sure that's what Charlie's move is going to be today. Save a little bit for that last 100.
All right.
Here we go. First event of the night, boys.
There's the whistle. We're kicking it off here at Stumptown Twilight 2022. Got Vaughn Taylor in there as well on the inside. Matt Wisner in lane 2. Vince Ciotti, Hamza Driouche, Charlie Hunter there. Makuto Kaneko, Fobbs' pick over there. Junya Matsumoto and Chase Lovercheck. So they're off now. And this is the ASICS men's 800-meter run. And they're being called back.
Just a nice stride for the guys.
Now, Fable, in a false start in the marathon, how do you deal with that as you walk back to the line?
You know, Jeff, I don't think it's ever happened. I think they would just let you go. I think if you took a couple steps early, as long as you pull up, you're like, all right. I think they would just let you go.
For those seeking fast times, I guess get a couple steps on your competition, then
absolutely
call you back.
Yeah, most marathons are won in the first 5 meters, so I think it's really the best strategy you could employ.
Okay, so we don't know. It looks like I don't know if anybody's going to be shown a red card here. I think we could be in the clear. I hope so. Could be a faulty shell. That's something that we learned about this winter indoors, that sometimes you just get a faulty shell in the gun and it doesn't trigger the timing system. So that's nobody's fault, but could be that. Could be something else. We'll see. But there's a slow walk back to the starting line.
Craig, as we reload, I want to ask you a little bit about 800-meter strategy. I had a coach in college who believed the fastest way to run an 800 was to get 1 second slower every 200. Does that jive with your feelings about the event?
Yeah, but it is wild when you run the 800, you think you're running the same speed, but you're slowing down so much. So you're putting in the same effort, but yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can get past the 50-meter mark today.
It looks like it's a clean start as we get the drone shot out there. And the guys are looking to file in position as they hit the back straight.
Go. Yep, Charlie's getting after it today, it looks like.
So we got Holdsworth out there getting out front, setting the pace. We can see what they come through the 200 at. And it was about 24 seconds through 200 meters.
That's perfect. Yeah, almost every world record since I think it was Kip Keeter have been a 1.5 second differential from the first lap to the second lap.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, so every time I'm talking to Donovan about how he wants to run the 800, it's you got to get out in 49 if you want to break 140 one day.
How he wants to one day break the world record.
Here we go. Through in about 51.5, it looks like. The field through in 52 mid.
And the Rabbit is just a little bit ahead here. Really going to be a grind for the athletes coming home these last 300 meters.
Yeah, Derek looks great out there. He's taking them through 500 in 105, which was perfect. The field's 107 flat.
Giving him some space. Here's Charlie Hunter. Hunter moving around Matsumoto right now. Down the back straight. Hunter knows that he has some work to do if he wants to get that time, but the field's still bunched together as they hit 600 meters.
120 for the field.
Matt Wisner moving well.
Charlie putting in a big surge right there.
Charlie swinging around the turn, and it looks like he's full of run here.
And he looks really good coming home.
Yeah,
heading onto the home straight, it's Charlie Hunter here, driving to the tape, pumping the arms with everything he has.
Powerful guy.
Let's see what he can get here. We got the tape laid out for him. Clock hits 145.
Win this one.
Bang.
146.96. I know he was looking for a fast time, but he won commandingly.
So 147 flat, it looks like, 146.96.
That's always good when you can have almost 2 second margin of victory, Jeff.
That is, and Matt Wisner pulling up the surprise second there, 148.76 for the New Gen crowd. So 147 flat. Charlie Hunter's your defending champion now, or he's holding up the end for the Union Athletics Club. Craig, you taking it last year, and now Charlie Hunter this year. So
that's what we wanted. We're the Stumptown Twilight champions.
Yes.
That's
2 wins in a row. Defending the home Portland turf here. The Union Athletics Club. Vince Ciotti of the OTC coming in third, 149.08.
Matt Wisner running great. I'm sure that's a PR for him.
Yeah, Wisner, let's check that out. So he's run 147.85 indoors.
Okay.
So he's outside of that. But season best for him for sure.
Yeah, that was a great last 200 for Charlie. He took off with 150 to go, and no one was going to catch him.
And let's check that out on the replay here, too. Let's see. Charlie Hunter looked very good closing that last 200 meters gap in the field.
That Union Athletics blue looks good on him.
The Union blue waved the flag.
Yeah.
The fans are going crazy in the stands right now.
Yeah, let's hear it for Charlie Hunter in the chat.
So next race up is the second heat of the men's 800 meters here.
On screen right there is Donovan Brazier giving Charlie some tips for his next race.
Now, will Charlie be heading over to Europe soon and to chase some times over there?
I think so. A lot of the Union Athletics Club is going to head to Europe right after the World Championships. There we go. Look at that last 100. The grit from Charlie. Chaz Hunter getting after it.
There he is. Crossing that line in style. So here we go. We've got Heat 2 here before we head back to the women's 1500, but a good field assembled here, 152, 153 types.
I'm sure these guys are going to be looking to get right around that 150 barrier today.
So Benjamin Ballage in this race, Sunset High School, and he took the high school race, the high school mile at Portland Track Festival, around 4:08, I think. But jumping down here, he also won the 2,000-meter steeplechase there. And I think he's going to U of O next year.
Yeah, we got a couple of Bowerman Track Club campers listening in right now, and I see we got one of the Bowerman runners in lane 2. Shout out to you guys in Bend, Oregon.
All the dudes shaking out here. Getting ready to rip. Pavel, what would you throw down in an 800?
Oh, yeah, let's hear that.
Well, I ran some smooth 32s the other day, so probably 208, 210. I think no problem. If there are any elite females who would love to drop me in a workout one of these days in the Portland area, just give me a call. I'd love to get a session in.
We've got a bunch.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of takers for you.
Yeah, I'd like to see your marathon time match your 800 time.
You better hit that 207.
Get you down to 159.
Yeah. And we got J-Back Black out here in lane 8. Love to see that.
Here we go.
Yeah, the Jacuzzi Boys are pretty famous here in Portland. If you haven't heard of them, you will soon.
Jacuzzi Boys Athletic Club. Bitter rivals of the Bowerman Track Club Elite. They hate each other with a passion. Face each other on the roads and tracks around Portland and trails in cross-country season. And they're off now. Second heat of the men's 800 meters. We just had the championship won by Charlie Hunter, but we'll see what this consolation prize is. Smooth striding around the bend there as they hit the brake.
He is out hot in the front here.
A big lead at the moment, coming through 200 meters in 24 seconds.
Wow. My guy's looking for the world record today.
So if they're subscribing to your pace of dropping a second per 200, they're looking at around 143.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we didn't get to discuss too much 800 strategy, but usually I just go full throttle.
Yeah.
And here we go, reaching the lap. We'll get the bell. About 51 seconds.
About just as fast as the first heat. That's pretty good. Field's through in 55, so they're looking about right on for 150 to 151.
51.7 for the leader. That's Matt Swanson.
And Matt Swanson's holding this lead through 500. He's got about 4 seconds on the field.
He's got a long stride out there, too.
I think we're going to see some fireworks this last 300, Jeff.
He's got about 25 to 30 yards on the field and rolling through in about 119 still, so 28-second 200 there. See what he can close this last 200 in.
Oh, man, he's holding on to this lead.
The field's trying to reel him in. Matt Swanson wants this, though.
Yes, he does. Matthew Swanson with the commanding
He's
lead.
entering the home stretch right now, and it looks like he's trying to keep it together to the line, pushing it.
I think he's sealed the deal on this victory. Let's see if he can break 150. Oh, right about 152.
It could be a 151. We'll see. 152.13 on the clock, so a 60-second last lap there. Out in 51.7, closing at 60.
Very tough way to run the 800, I'll tell you that.
It looks a little
The
roughly.
booty lock certainly set in there with around 50 meters to go, but I thought he looked great for the first 750. Really strong runner.
Yeah.
Almost not there's almost no harder way to run that race than the way Matthew Swanson just ran.
Looked a little bit like your big friendly 800 when Donovan pulled you through in about 49 seconds, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had a solo.
Held on
solo
for
mission.
another 60. Matt and I had the same race.
There you go. Matthew Cook coming in second there, 154.5. Connor Paris, third place, 154.97.
There it is. And you'll see the pain of the 800 if you look at your screen now, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the thing. You go numb during the race, but then it hits you like a wall afterwards.
Okay, we have Matthew Cook in second from Costa Rica. 2 mats in a row.
Good day for the mats out there in the 800.
I'd say so.
There we go. He's going to be down there for a while, I think. But that's a tough runner right there.
Yeah.
You gotta get those every now and then to kind of level set and know where you are.
What do
Here
have?
we are.
Yeah, what is
We're turning our attention to the women's 1500 here, the Ciotti women's 1500.
Ooh, I'm excited for this race.
And this is one of the big events of the evening right here.
Yeah, Danny Aragon is in this race.
Yep.
She's had a great year running. And we got
2:03.404 this year, and she is nannying for Kyle Merber, so she's got a great pacer.
That's true.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Almost no better pacer in the world.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyle. We wish you were in here as well.
We also have Ella Donahue of the Union Athletics Club in this race, coming fresh off a big Yakima Road Mile.
That's right. She's the Yakima Road Mile champion out there. And this race, too, we have a rematch between Susan Ajore and Danny Aragon from the Nashville Track Festival.
Yeah, Susan Ajore has had a great year as well.
She is my pick to win. She just came off of the Kenyan Trials where she ran 4:12 in Nairobi, which is about 6,000 feet of elevation. So she is ready to roll.
What's the altitude here, Jeff?
We're sitting at about 45 feet or something like that, I think. Probably a little higher. I think I would place us at about 225.
Okay, hopefully there's a conversion. The ladies are out.
So we're getting a good pace here. That's Alma Cortez in the first position behind the pacer, and she's the Mexican national record holder. Behind her, Susan Ajore, and then Ella Donahue. And then we got Hannah Green in there and Angel Picarillo looking for fast times for the OTC as well. So that's a solid group of 5 ladies out there looking for fast times.
Oh, they're through quick. They're through in 63 high.
Six.
And she's looking to go around the pacer.
Yeah. So Alma Cortez, known for pushing it out there and being an incredibly tough runner on the circuit, wants to give the pacer, tell her to, hey, why don't you jump on it a little bit? I want to go a little faster. She's chomping at the bit. Susan Ajore not giving Alma Cortez any space either.
And back in 5th is Hannah Green, who we haven't mentioned too much, but she's got a PR in this event.
Yeah, she's got
406, which she's looking to shatter today.
406.6. So this top group of women is all sitting between about 403 and 410. Susan Ajore taking the fastest time into the race today. But your teammate Ella Donahue, too.
Yeah, Union Athletics Club queen right now, I'd have to say.
Yeah, earlier this season down at the Sound Running Meet, she ran in Heat 2 of the 5K.
802.11. That is blistering, Jeff.
Yeah, this is a fast pace right here. Now the pacer is getting some space out there, but Alma Cortez on the front.
They're right on pace for about 403 to 404, it seems like.
And that world standard 404.2 is in the sights of
in danger
women here. So
bad day to be a standard, huh?
It's a bad day, yeah.
500 to go. The rabbit is off, and looks like a little bit of bunching with this top 4.
So
an awesome last lap.
And now we'll see as they run up to the bell. So a great pacing job by the rabbit there to get them as far as she did, because they don't have to go solo for too long before this racing starts.
This is where it gets gritty, boys.
But Alma Cortez hits the bell in front with Susan Ajore on her shoulder, and a little bit of daylight back to Ella Donahue. But then Hannah Green sticking on the pace, too, and watch out for her. She's got dangerous 800-meter speed, but Ella Donahue can close like a banshee, too.
302 with 400 to go, so they're looking at 60 to 60 2 will get him the standard for next year.
That's about 318 through 1,200 meters there.
66.
Susan Ajore moves to the front now. And now Ella Donahue moves past Alma Cortez as well.
This move feels a little bit early, but I hope she can pull it off. This has got to hurt.
This is an incredible move for fast times, but we'll see if Susan Ajore can hold on to it. She's gapping the field slightly, getting some daylight there. And now look at Hannah Green swinging around Ella Donahue. Hannah Green, known as an 800-meter specialist. She's a 158 runner.
Susan Ajore looking great.
Ajore taking a full head of steam down the home stretch and going to the arms.
Love this.
She looks like she was holding on a little bit.
Let's see this battle for second. Ella Donahue just passed.
Ajore out front.
407 for
407, and that battle for second was incredible.
Ajore takes the win there, and we'll see Hannah Green in second, Ella Donahue in third.
And the times are popping up right there on the screen for you guys. That was a great race. They went out really hard, and they went for it today.
Great racing there. And Lindsay Merrill coming across as well, too.
That's a
good
big
to see her out
race
there.
For Lindsay.
Yeah, she's coming back into the game. And was a little scared about getting into this fast heat, but wants to shake off the cobwebs a little bit. So she did it today.
Now, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but that may have been her first race with Merrill on a bib.
No, you're right. Yeah.
That's a big day, brother.
We're proud to have her, too.
Yeah.
It is a big day. We've got 2 recently married men in the booth with Scott Fauble and me and Craig.
I'm coming in soon. I swear she's out there.
Yeah. Why don't we check the YouTube comments? I'm sure there are a lot of suitors for you.
Yeah, big thanks to all 700 of you guys watching the live stream. We really appreciate you guys, and if you're involved in the chat, let's hear it from you. What do we have on deck, boys?
We have the men's 1500, right?
This is, the men's 1,500 meter is up right now. And this is heat 1. We have 3 heats, so this is the fast heat of the men's 1,500 meter championship race today. And the defending champion, who is not in the field today, but Josh Kerr won this race last year.
Oh, yes.
In 3:31:55, which is the fastest time ever run on American soil for the 1,500 outdoors.
We're going to take that record back from the Brits one day. I guess the Scottish is.
Yeah.
We can't have the men's record being from a foreigner.
Who's going to do it, Craig?
I have a guess, but I don't want to say it out loud.
Okay. So looking at this field here, we've got Sam Tanner in this, and he's coming off of a big win in the pre-classic 1,500.
Yep.
And he will also be competing at the World Championships down in Eugene later this month. So he's looking to keep his win streak in Oregon going heading into that. David Ribich from the Beast is also in here. One of my favorites, coming down from the north in Seattle to mix it up here in Portland. A fan favorite.
Robert Heppenstall, the newly minted Canadian 1,500 champ, is, I think, hip number 5.
Heppenstall had a fantastic race, winning Heat 2 of the Portland Track Festival, too. 3:37.5 there.
Yeah, his history is mostly in the 800, but it looks like he's turned out to be winner, and the likes of Liam, Ben Blankenship. Yeah, it's a pretty good field we've assembled here today.
This is going to be an excellent race. Sam Tanner is a standout in this field, I would say, but he's got a pack behind him that is chomping at the bit, and it looks like they could scare him a little bit here today.
Yeah.
Thomas Radcliffe in this race.
Is that his first race in a Bowerman kit?
He's raced Portland Track Festival in the Bowerman kit.
He loves racing in Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who doesn't?
It's true. We have Liam Marrow in, I think, hip number 14.
In the crop top there on the outside.
Correct. I was looking at the style, and I kind of like it.
And these boys are in great hands, too, in the Pace Pirates' hands on the outside. Maybe the best racer in the continent, or on the continent, maybe this hemisphere.
Yeah, if Eric Sawinski is listening, then I'm sorry, because I think you would claim that title as well. But we'll see him take us through in 155 today as they get out right now. Robert Heppenstall right on his shoulder.
the Sport Oregon 1500 underway right now.
One more person to look out for, Jack Antsey in the Under Armour kit. He recently won the Flagstaff Downtown Mile, which is a road mile, 4th of July on Flagstaff. Ran 4:09, I believe, which was a course record. It's not an easy course record to get, and that's a tough course to begin with. So if this is a fast strength-based race, I think you could see him really holding some people off.
Wow. 4:09 converts to about 3:52. Is that correct?
They're through at about 41, and you can see Jack Antsey making his way through the field next to Ben Blankenship in the back. But we're out hot today. They're not messing around. They're looking to break 3:40 for sure and see how far they can get under that.
Through the quarter in about 54 seconds, it looks like. So yeah, that is a hot start for sure.
Very strung out. I don't know if there's anyone even in lane 2. Jack Antsey's moving up a little bit there.
We haven't mentioned Reed Brown yet either. Reed Brown
running in the new gen jersey.
Yeah, the new gen jersey there. 3:36 earlier this year down at Hayward Field in the Oregon Relays.
David Ribich out there trying to bridge the gap between the first and second group, but this first group is out hot.
I always point to Ribich's race last year in the 5K at the Portland Track Festival where he went toe-to-toe with Lopez Lamong, took him to the line, and came up a narrow second. But he's got the chops to compete at the highest level, and he loves the sport so much, too. He likes to go into races feeling happy and like he wants to be there. So getting in the right mindset is key. But here he's getting some help, too.
153-ish through 800, and Nowak drops out. And I kind of think Sam Tanner in 4th there looks the best.
Yeah, Robert Heppenstall is really going for it. It's tough to be out there on your own for another 800 meters, but he really wants to run fast today, and I respect this man for it. Look at that. He's gapping the field right now.
Heppenstall,
about 500 to go.
Asserting himself here. Reed Brown trying to drive the pack back up to him, maybe giving him some space, but Heppenstall steps off now.
Jack Anstey has worked his way up to 4th, all the way from the back. Looks like he had a tough start, but he's one to go for today as well.
And look at Sam Tanner move to the front.
And Ratcliffe is right there, too. They're bunching a little bit. Looks like it's slowed. This is going to be an awesome last lap.
Wow, so there's the bell hitting about 2:39. So you know anything under 60 here is just money in the bank under that 340 barrier. But check out, we got that smooth pack of 4 up there hitting 1,200 meters right now in about 2:54. And Sam Tanner, just like he's shot out of a cannon, Thomas Radcliffe goes with him down the back straight.
Sam Tanner will be representing New Zealand. But let's see what he's got with 200 to go.
200 meters to go. Radcliffe trying to stay with him. But now the Kiwi with 150 meters. Can he hold on?
Ribich coming up into 3rd.
Radcliffe says it is not over yet as he goes to the arms.
Radcliffe gritting his teeth. But here comes Sam Tanner down the straightaway, following in the footsteps of John Walker and Nick Willis.
And the man bun's going to win.
From New Zealand.
Here we go.
Cruising into the finish. 3:36 on the clock.
That's a great time. The crowd goes wild.
3:36.93, shutting it down. 57.48 for the last lap.
Thomas Radcliffe.
Radcliffe in there, 3:37.
David Ribich closed pretty hard there. He came from pretty far back, and he's looking fit right now.
So about a 1.5 second PR for Thomas Radcliffe there. Yeah. And Ribich with a nice race.
Sure, yeah.
3:38.
Ben Blankenship came out of nowhere for 4th.
Blankenship on the washed-up tour. He named it. Those aren't my words.
Yeah. Check out his Instagram. He's doing a tour throughout the United States right now. It's pretty cool. And we got Craig Nowak, who paced this race, who just dropped a little clothing line. If you want to go check that out on his Instagram while you're on the app.
Yeah, hit the plugs. Hit all the plugs today. So a good race in the men's 15 there.
David Ribich's new fiance and life partner will be watching this race. Pretty excited to see his season best of 3:38.
Nice. How about that? Let's sift through these results a little bit here and see what else we can pull up. Yeah, Ben Blankenship, like you said, 3:41 there. Colton Johnson in 4th, 3:40. Jack Antsey of the Dark Sky Distance Club, 3:41. Liam Mayrow running 3:43, so off of his 3:41 that he clocked at Portland Track Festival. But hometown hero nonetheless. And
we had an athlete from Kyrgyzstan in here. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that's the first one to race on Jesuit's track here in Portland, Oregon.
the storied track here at Jesuit High School. There he is, the champ.
The champ will be looking to also solidify the champ crown at the World Championships. I just said champ 3 times in one sentence.
And we can see some of these local celebrities in the crowd here. You got Scotty Olberding looking amazing as he usually does there, the Portland track treasurer. He'll be watching his wife Eleanor Fulton race later, and then Howard Lau here, famous photographer. That looks like it could be Tim Healy down there too, snapping some shots. So all the creatives are out here.
There's David Rematch coming on the screen to congratulate Sam Tanner on his big dub.
We've got 2 more heats of the men's 1500 here. We get heat 2 and heat 3, and then we'll move to the women's 800-meter championship. That'll take place at 7:20. And then we move to the 5,000s from there. So some more 3 3/4 lapping here.
Yeah, we got a lot of athletes out here today that will be competing in the World Championships. And if you're just tuning in or don't know much, that's going to be held the next couple weeks down in Eugene, Oregon, which is really cool. I think it's the first World Championships held in America and ever. That's pretty cool.
Ever.
Yeah, and so a lot of those athletes are using this meet as a tune-up or a workout. So it's cool to have these people just come down to Portland, Oregon, and show what they have right before the World Championships.
And we just flashed the team scoring on the screen too. So we like to score wins here for teams at the Portland meets, and right now it's UAC 1, Puma 1.
Wow, it's a close race.
It's a close game.
Anything, literally anything could happen.
Almost literally anything. I think New Gen will be coming in for some of those wins if I had to have a guess.
We'll see here. All quiet on the start line here for the men's heat 2 of the 1500.
Now, for Sam Tanner going into rounds, what's going to be the most important thing for him, Craig, in order to advance through the first round of the 1500 at Worlds?
Yeah, so it'll be 3 rounds down there in 4 days, 5 days. So Sam will have to, honestly, he's looking so fit right now that he'll have to dial it back a little bit for those first 2 rounds so that if he makes the final, he could go for the medals. Because he's been looking really good this year. He's won, I think, almost every race he's entered.
You know, I have that stat for you, actually. Sam Tanner, 4 out of 7 wins in 2022 in the 1500.
Wow. Yeah, that's big. If you don't know, winning as a pro is tough. Doesn't come too often, and Sam Tanner's done that 4 times this year, so that's pretty cool.
A banner year. And that looked like a qualifying round for him out there, kind of cruising across the line. Yeah,
I'm guessing at Worlds this year it'll take a few races of 336, 335, and then the final's probably going to be a 330 race if he's going to win a medal.
That's how they do it these days.
Yeah.
Things have shifted on the global scene in the men's 15.
We got Nate Reich here in the 2nd position. I can't tell what hip number he has on, but on Instagram he's known as Nate Greywolf. He is the Paralympian champion.
Wow. Also in this race we have Tyrone Gorzi too, the high schooler here in Oregon. He recently ran, earlier this season he ran 14 flat at 5,000, and he recently ran 29:28, I believe, in the 10,000 at Portland Track Festival.
Range.
Ooh, look who we got back on the center of the screen.
We got old Derek Holdsworth there.
Derek Holdsworth representing Bell Lab Track and Field, who I know is really, really good for the sport. If you want to check out their Instagram, they sell some really cool gear for athletes. The boys are looking to go for it today.
Yep, here we'll see what they come through at for 300 meters, but the field is strung out already. Holdsworth out front, and that is a quick first 300.
About 42. That's looking about 56-second pace through the 400.
So Colin Abert, sorry.
332 pace.
Colin Abert out there of the Minnesota Distance Elite. Eric Lutz in second.
56 through the quarter. If we can hold that, we might see a 332 today.
It looks like the guys in the back there are sitting a little better in position, letting the front guys go, but Holdsworth out there gapping the field in his pacing duties. Maybe he'll be the pace pirate here and steal this race. He sticks in it.
Yeah, the weather's just calming down, and it's about perfect. The whole track's in the shade. I think we're going to see some fast times in these races coming up.
Abert still here.
Derek looking
up front.
Smooth. So that was about a 60 there, going through a 141. Now they're on 340 pace, which would be really good.
Dialing it back here, making sure that the guys come through at a good pace. So 156 or 157.
We got a shout out to Carlos back there in about 7th. I did a podcast with him yesterday in my backyard. He's a good dude. He's running for Horizons up there in Canada. He's making a move right there with number 1 on his chest.
So now Derek has stepped off, and it's Colin Abert out front, leading everybody. Eric Lutz behind him. And the field strung out behind them. There's still a lot of men in contention as they run down the final straight, leading up to the bell lap.
We've got a top-notch pain face coming through the line in first place here.
Abert hits the bell, about 2:45. So we'll see if anybody has something left in the tank. But the race will really get going here with 300 meters to go in this Heat 2 of the men's 1,500 meters here at the Stumptown Twilight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, making
the
pass.
Very good last 200.
There we go. Lutz now to the front. 200 meters to go.
You guys came here for entertainment, and you're about to get it. It looks like in position 4 right now where he's making a big move.
Lutz throwing it down for the Calgary Spartans, but don't count out Colin Abert again. How many times do you see that? Retaking the lead after being passed.
And he's going for it. He's got the blades out and about. He's out there chopping some wood, but there's a big move being made in second place.
Coming down the straightaway, this is Abert coming to the line. And it's a 3:43.
Great race.
58 on the last lap? Great last lap.
58.5. So Colin Abert getting past down the backstretch and cruising in, retaking the lead, and closing in 58.5. After a hard start, too. The bookending splits of that race were pretty crazy. So 42 seconds for the first 300. You said 56 for the first lap, and then a 58.5. And Abert near the front the whole time.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the man on the screen right there, Nate Reich, with hip number 15. He was looking to break the Paralympic world record, which I think he currently owned at 3:58.
And he's run.
He ran 3:52. I think he won the Paralympics in 3:58. Sorry, but he just ran a blazing time of 3:52, which is great.
3:52.8 for Nate Reich. Second place here, Joshua Yeager coming out, a teammate of Abert, Minnesota Distance Elite, 3:44.5. And then Eric Lutz making that hard move with 200 to go. Comes up in third for the Calgary Spartans. Also under 60 seconds, though. The fastest closing lap in this field goes to Sam Vincent in fourth place, 57.8, running 3:45.
Yeah, that was quite the race for the second heat, running 3:43. That's unreal.
So clicking off the men's 1,500-meter heats here. We have one more, Heat 3, before we turn our attention to the women's 800.
Jeff, what are you most excited for the World Championships? Are you going to go down to Eugene and watch?
Yeah, I'll be down there a little bit, checking out the scene. I mean, the women's 800 is going to be an amazing race to watch.
Wouldn't that be something if America could go 1, 2, 3?
Yes,
that
would be
would be
wild.
something.
That would really be wild.
That would be something, and not out of the realm of possibilities either. Yeah, we'll see what Keely Hodgkinson has to say about that.
Yeah, hopefully if you're listening, you're not too offended, Keely.
But the men's 1500 down there as well. That's something that I'm looking forward to. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Donovan can do in the men's 8.
Yeah, Donovan Brazier is looking to make his comeback from a big year in 2019, which auto-qualified him for the World Championships, but he still ran USA's anyway.
Trying to climb his way back up to the mountaintop.
We got a big name here, hip number 7 in lane 1 right there. We got Daniel Nguyen, who's actually in Portland right now filming a movie.
Yep, he is. That movie will come out at an undisclosed date at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Jeff, but I had a small role in that movie.
I know you know that I know this.
Yeah. and if you're watching it is a very interesting role.
Yeah, so be sure to keep tabs on that movie coming out. It's a movie being made by Daniel Nguyen and the famous director R.J. McNichols, known for creating The Hunt as well. But yeah, we see Daniel Nguyen shaking it out. And I don't think he's going to finish this race here. I think this is a part of the movie, but he's not going to interfere with any of the players.
Right. We got another Horizons Track Club member right there, Jose. Also the host of a podcast. Looks like we got another Pace Pirate jersey right there.
Are those for sale now?
Must be. I think they might actually just be on East Bay or something.
East Bay.
Yeah, we have a local University of Portland pilot running for Mexico, Michael Turan. He's run 1340s, I think, in the 5K, so he'll be looking to get a good 1500 PR today.
See, we have Michael Color from Club Northwest here. And Henry Ruckman Udding from Simon Fraser University. As we see Serena Sutherland there taking a stride out before her 800 meters. She's a 158 runner down at Oregon Track Club coming from Eugene. Simon Fraser University, though. Coach Townsend there. He's got a great program.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Men's DMR, D2 record holders now, I believe.
Yeah. Shout out to all of our Canadians listening. Eh?
Yeah, we get a lot of Canadian representation here coming down to Portland and racing. Our friends from the north of the wall. So this is the third and final heat of the men's 1500 here at the Stumptown Twilight. It's always sunny in Portland. Forget what you've heard. Look at this. It's a beautiful high 70s degree day. It looks like the clouds were just painted on the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't be any greener out here. Trees surrounding the track. Jesuit High School.
They don't call it the Big Apple for nothing, Jeff.
So we're waiting for the start here. I believe it'll go off at 7:10. Give it another minute. Timers like to keep it right on schedule here. Small field, but I kind of prefer smaller fields. You get to look at each of the competitors a little bit more closely. And they're off now. Heat 3 of the men's 1,500 meters.
Yep. If you're just tuning in, we are out here at Jesuit High School, and this is the Stumptown Twilight, one of the bigger meets Portland hosts every year, thanks to Tracklandia. And we were able to give it to you guys for free this year on YouTube.
That's right. Free for all. Track for all. That's what we believe in here in Portland. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's a festival. And here we go. Horizon Track Club out there out front. And this is an unrabbited, pure racing 1,500 here. So something you don't see on the circuit too often. Unrabbited racing. Craig, that's your style of racing, I think.
Oh, yeah. The slower, the better.
About 60 seconds through the quarter there, so 3:45 pace for 1,500 meters.
Yeah, we got Daniel Nguyen back there in 6th. If you didn't hear us earlier, he's filming a scene of a movie.
Jose Castro out front now with Horizon Track Club, but he's being overtaken by Michael Kohler.
Looks like these boys might have had some agreement on sharing the lead. Got to appreciate that.
So we'll see when that alliance breaks down here during the race, and who's going to take the win after that happens. Kohler out up front. He's from Club Northwest, and I believe he took part in the Portland versus Seattle 3,000-meter race at the Portland Track Festival this year.
He's doing a good job keeping this race honest.
Seattle.
That's what we like to see.
Seattle took the win at this year's Portland versus Seattle 3,000 meters.
Huge loss for the city of Portland.
A bitter disappointment. The newspapers.
Frankly embarrassing.
Couldn't
Couldn't defend home turf.
The news stations were ruthless.
There's a lot of discussion now about team building and what we need to do to get back to be able to claim the Cascadian axe at next year's
We might have
Portland
to recruit
Track
from
Festival.
out of state.
I think we're going to try and throw Woody Kincaid into that race next year.
Potentially even some realignment. Maybe matching Portland up with a different city. Maybe Ames, Iowa. They don't travel as well, I've heard.
Yeah, I think we can do that leading into the Portland Track Festival. We need to hit some minor cities before we can.
On one hand, the TV deals will be off the charts. On the other hand, we're going to lose some historic rivalries.
We're signing a big deal.
Yeah.
We're getting in with the Big Ten next year. Here we go. Here's Kohler out front, and
I think we're in store for a big last lap.
2:49 on the clock with a lap to go as they hit the bell. 2:50 officially, and that was a 62-second lap.
We got big Mike sitting in 4th, I think, just off camera, who might have a big close and something to say to these boys up front.
Sam Geiger.
Sam Geiger.
Strong man. Still, he's right in this thing.
He's looking smooth sitting there in 2nd, but Castro not giving up the fight yet, sitting in 3rd. It's still Kohler out front. And Kohler chugging along there. Some big arm motion. But there's Geiger and Castro in his wake. And can he hold him off? Here it is.
Oh, man, big last 100. This guy's
is it.
led most of the race, and we're going to see if he can.
And Geiger's coming.
Oh, no.
Geiger's coming.
Gearing up for a big push, and there he goes.
Oh, no.
Called by
response.
Flavel on the back stretch. He
Pace
was looking
pirate.
good.
And we got Jose looking to take that 2nd place spot just at the line. Wow, what a lean.
3:52.75 for Sam Geiger there, taking the win.
What an awesome 3rd heat, unpaced, at a pro. That's free track. Free track for the people.
That's the game right there. When you pull the rabbits, that's playing the game.
What other cities could have 3 awesome heats like that? What a wonderful meet.
Name them. You can count them on one finger.
I'm not going to say you're welcome to the viewers, but you're welcome.
And thank you very much for being here, Craig. And you too as well, Fobs. This is a pleasure sharing the booth with you guys today.
Yeah, what a night for it, huh?
Yeah. So we've got the women's 800 meters coming up next.
Oh, we got Daniel Nguyen finishing right now. Not sure if it's for the movie scene.
So I don't know if the crowd knows that he's. Oh, we're getting a replay on the clock here, looking at or on the screen, showing Sam Geiger coming into the finish. But behind the replay, yeah, you've got Daniel Nguyen doing some
phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
There he is, right there.
and hopefully the crowd knows that this is not real, but
Yeah, Daniel Nguyen is an Olympic trials finalist, but he's turned theater.
a talented runner, talented actor as well, and the adoring fans give him an applause as they welcome him back onto the infield. So good job, Daniel. Good job to all the competitors out there.
I know we've got a lot of people watching, but I want to give one special shout out to David Ribich's mom.
Okay.
I hope you're doing well out there. I know you're watching from Oregon, and your son did great tonight.
Third place in the men's 1500 top heat. Next up on the track, we have the women's 800 meter here. And Serena Sutherland, the headliner from the Oregon Track Club.
Yeah, Serena Sutherland has gone sub twice in 2022. Actually, sub twice since June 11th. Sub two, sorry. Twice since June 11th. And, I think she's probably the chalky pick, the favorite pick. But Eleanor Fulton also having a great year. She's run 203 and 203 and 403 this year. 404 at the Portland Track Festival. I think she's got a shot at this thing.
Yeah, Sabrina making it a habit to run under 2 minutes. She's got a PR of 158, carrying that over from 2021. She ran that down in Sacramento, one of my favorite stadiums in the country, Hughes Stadium, built in the 1920s, I think, but historic place for track, too. They used to host national championships there. It's a horseshoe stadium. Great-looking old structure, so they should have more track meets down there, I think. I'd be happy to be a part of that.
Some very, very hot U.S. championships have been held there.
Extremely hot, yeah. Because of TV, we have to have them in the middle of the day. But if we just waited a little bit and had them after dark, it cools down nicely in Sacramento, and it's dry. There's no breeze, so it's an excellent place to race if you do it after sunset. But down here on the track, yeah, Sutherland lining up, and like you said, Eleanor Fulton, an extremely impressive race at the Portland Track Festival, coming in second. Carissa Schweitzer won that race, but Fulton beating out Emma Coburn for that second spot and running a PR 4:04.26. And then last week here at the Jess Hole Australian record attempt, known as the UAC Mile, she paced. Got a nice pace job herself from Sinclair Johnson, who came through in ran 1,000 meters for pacing, and then Eleanor Fulton took over through 1,200, and then latched on to Jess Hole, and crossed 1,500 meters in 4:03.03.
That's unreal. That's the standard for next year, right?
She's got the standard and a big personal best as well. Jess Hole went on to run 4:19 in that race. But Fulton rarely runs the 800. She's more of a 1,500-meter 5K type, so this is a treat to get to watch her run here this evening. Also in this race, Katie Camarena, a Portland State Viking alum. So the home crowd turning out to watch her race, but she recently came in second at that Yakima Mile that was taken by Ella Donahue. And also running a PR of 4:10 in the 1,500 at the Portland Track Festival.
Yeah, quite the field we have here.
Samantha Murphy in this race representing Canada, her PR from the Portland Track Festival in 2019. She's run 2:01.
Now, Scott, I know you won't be running any 800 soon, but what's on the race docket for you?
Hopefully going to do something over the summer and then get ready for a fall marathon. Yeah. I'd love to go back to Falmouth. Just kind of depends on when I get fit enough.
Oh, great race.
Yeah. Wonderful race.
Lobster dinner out there.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go, lining up here, towing the line.
Towing the line.
And they're off. We'll see who the pacer is for this and what the slated
Serena Sutherland is out great in lane 6.
Anna Connor jumping to the front, and she's probably the rabbit for this race. And Eleanor Fulton right alongside Serena Sutherland, too. So, she's slotting into second right there.
This is what I like about women's racing. They're never afraid to get after it.
They're never afraid. There's always some trash talking, some jockeying for position on the men's side, kind of dancing around each other. But women just like to swing for the fences.
They just put the pedal down and go.
They're not afraid.
They're not talking trash on Instagram or.
Who would do such a thing? Nobody in this booth.
I, for one, have never said anything on Twitter that has gotten people riled up.
Of course he wouldn't. And here's Anna Connor doing some great work here. They're coming in
59 for Eleanor.
Sub 1 minute through the first lap. And Eleanor out there. Serena Sutherland sitting on Eleanor Fulton. And Fulton has got the strength, so she's taking a moonshot here in one of the rare attempts at 800 meters.
Through in 1:15, they're still right on 2 flat pace. I'd love to see a sub 2 tonight.
We all would, Craig. But that Eleanor Fulton stretching it out down the backstretch now, and we'll see what Serena Sutherland can do as they hit 200 meters to go. 1:31 on the clock.
Oh, Sabrina's gearing up, but let's see if Eleanor can hold her off.
Has Serena Sutherland stashed away enough to use it down this final stretch?
I have a feeling Eleanor's got another gear, and we might see that right here, Jeff.
This is good for Eleanor time-wise, but we'll see if she can inch back up on Sutherland's shoulder. And Sutherland now stretching it out down the home stretch for the Oregon Track Club.
Sutherland says absolutely not.
For Eugene, coming into the finish, Sutherland takes it. 2:01.53 for Sutherland. 2:02.87 for Eleanor Fulton, a PR for her.
Great race from Sabrina. She sat right behind Eleanor for about 700 meters and then said bye-bye.
Katie Camarena in third there, 2:06.24. So great race from Sutherland, Fulton, and Camarena there. Camarena's PR 2:05.52, so she's just outside of that. But here we go. Here's a replay of Sutherland dropping the hammer there. Fulton doing some excellent work through 400 meters to about just past 600 meters.
There you see our champ on the infield.
Greeting the masses. Jake Willard there, dual wielding with the lenses. Jake Willard calls Tracktown home down in Eugene. He's a
right on the screen. You see Emma Abramson as well doing a little bit of dancing for the crowd.
Oh, that's gonna go on TikTok.
Oh yeah. If you know Emma, you know she's got some moves.
So next up here, we've reached the point in the night where we're getting to the 5,000 meters. We've crossed off the 1,500s and the 800s, and now we're moving into 5,000 meter, 12.5 lap territory here at Jesuit High School. The Stumptown Twilight 2022. And we're going to say goodbye to Craig Engels now.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the 5Ks to the distance boys. I don't know if I have the attention span to talk for 12.5 minutes, and I know you guys don't want to hear my voice for that long.
He's going to go hang out with the crowd, do a little Craig Mingles.
Looks like OTC's on the board with a big dub there.
There we go. Oh, it's tied across the board now.
1-1-1. Truly,
riveting.
Anyone's meat.
And I don't know if any of those teams have athletes in the remaining races either. So we could end at a stalemate again, which we did in a 6-way tie at the Portland Track Festival, which we learned our lesson for next year as well. We will expand the scoring down to the first 3 places.
Well, thanks for tuning in and listening to my voice. If you guys enjoyed having a free meet, think about subscribing to Tracklandia's YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you hit those subscribes, you might think about doing this a little bit more often. Thank you, Craig. It's been a pleasure. Go mingle with your people. He's going to go hit the food stand now. Alrighty. Bobs, it's just you and me now here.
I think we have to talk a little bit more.
Yep, we're gonna have to stay on top of this 5,000 here.
You know, Craig, he can really fill some dead space.
He fills it well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. This race is supposed to have Safan Hassan on the line here. I don't see her on the screen at the moment. She is yet to race this year. A good local field here assembled nonetheless. A lot of great runners on the local scene. Teams represented Cascadia Elite with Amelia Kaiser-Gibson and Amanda Phillips on the line. Maria Bernard-Galea from Canada here to race. Teresa Haley representing Oiselle Little Wing. And she's a Portland local. Kate Ayers here from Canada. Natsuki Sakia here from Japan.
And it looks like Eleanor Fulton will be doubling back to pace, but looks like no Safan Hassan today.
So Safan has... Oh! Wait a minute. Could that be Safan Hassan jogging to the line?
And I stand corrected.
So, coming out of nowhere, just as we were about to write her off, we've got the dangerous Safan Hassan jogging to the line. And you never know what Safan Hassan is going to do. She's the reigning champion in the 5,000, 10,000 meters, Olympic champion, bronze medalist in the 1,500, world record holder in the mile. She's got too many national records to count for the Netherlands. And
she's run sub 2, sub 4, 14:22, 29:06. She's a certified star.
I have never seen her go out and run in a slow tactical race either. She usually just takes it and goes with it. Last year at the sound running track meet, there was a pacer in the field, but early on in the race, she went right around that pacer and ended up running 14:35 totally on her own.
Mm-hmm.
So she's using this as a tune-up in the first race of the season for the World Championships down in Eugene. And it's fantastic that she chose this race above the 800, 1,500 because we get to see her for 12 and a half laps. Scott, do you have it? And they're off now. But Scott, do you have any idea how she's going to approach this? What is your guess here?
I would guess that she's just going to go out and blast it. I don't really see any reason why she would come out to do anything else. If she was going to sit back and run tactical and try to rip the end, she could kind of just do that in a workout. For her to decide to put a race on her schedule, even if it's not at a Diamond League or something like that, it just makes sense to me that she needs like a good, hard, sustained effort.
So the other competitors in this field, very good, but they're the second fastest time in the race right now, 15:33, and that's from Natsuki Sakia of Japan. But Safan Hassan's 5K personal best is 14:22. Also, if she's going to break that this evening, then she'll also take the track record, which is a difficult one to get at 14:23 by Shelby Houlihan from 2020, and Carissa Schweitzer not too far behind her in that race as well. But here's the first
71
lap.
or so at 400 meters. That's about 14:45 pace.
Okay.
So she's not messing around. I mean, it's well off her PB, but still very fast.
And it's a solo effort here.
Yeah.
Safan not afraid to hurt either. No, like to triple at the Olympics, to run 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, and 1,500 meters. You got to go through rounds for the 15. That takes some resolve.
Absolutely. It boggles the mind how someone is able to do that. And this second group seems to be willing to work together a little bit. They're strung out. Little gap up to Eleanor Fulton, one runner in between, but it seems like that's going to be a good race there for second.
Yeah, it looks like that is Sakia or behind Eleanor Fulton right now, and a good pack behind them. This is going to be another difficult race to film here, as it was down at Sound Running, going between the Safan Hassan and the other racers, but coming through 800 meters there at about 225, 224, I think. So slightly slower than the first lap. The 1,500 meters for the women's 1,500 meters at the World Championships is slated for the first day, so July 15th. So that's a week from today. So we'll see what she chooses to race out of 1,500, 5,000, and 10,000. But this would be a hard effort to put in a week out.
Well, I think it'll depend on how hard she ends up going. If she runs, right around 15 flat, which is about the pace she was on, that's really not going to be something she's not going to be able to come back from. If she really opens it up in the last mile and cranks it down, that might take something out of her. But we've seen her stack these very, very impressive performances back to back to back to back. So she feels like when she's fit, and she's not going to worry too much about whether or not she can recover in time, just given how fit she is. So I don't think she needs to worry too much about this taking anything out of her, Jeff.
3:37 through 1,200 meters there.
Mm-hmm. Which is right about on 15-minute pace, which is, very, very fast and world class, but 35 seconds off of her PB.
So we're cruising right now. Safan Hassan treating the fans to a nice little, nice treat here at the Stumptown Twilight. Eleanor Fulton out there too. That she's pacing the second pack, but she's got a good gap on them currently. Kate Ayers now leading that second pack, and they've run 76, 76, and 78 for their first 3 laps. But here, Safan Hassan is coming up to the 1,600 meter mark, and about 450. 1,600 meters, so still on near 15-minute pace.
I'm really loving now that we're seeing many more variations of jerseys these days. Seeing 1,500, 5K, 10K runners wear speed suits. We're seeing sprinters wear split shorts. What was your go-to, Jeff?
I was a half tights singlet guy.
Half-tight. And that was the 800.
Yeah, that was the 800.
Yeah, it was 800.
That was my era.
Mm-hmm. If you were to get suited up now in your current body, what would you wear?
Basketball shorts, T-shirt.
Yeah. Well, the dad bod's coming in really nice. I think you look great. That's in. I've heard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've heard that too. We'll see if it takes, but thanks a lot, Scott. Safan Hassan here. She's running 73 pace. She settled into 73s, it looks like, after her first lap, 71. But now 2K hit.
604.
604 through 2K. And still roughly 73s. And the pack goes. That is Maria Bernard Galea leading the second pack, too. You can see her on your screen now. And she's clocked a 77 as they come through 2,000 meters. So right above 5-minute pace for them. And the gap continues to grow. Grows about 4 to 5 seconds per lap between Safan Hassan and the rest of the crew. But they're in their own race right now. They're working together. Maria Bernard Galea, Mao Kogur, and Amelia Kaiser Gibson in that trio behind Safan Hassan. Safan Hassan coming up to 2,400 meters. She's striding down the back straight. And she clicks that in 7:17. So we'll look at 2,500 too. We'll take a peek there.
Absolutely.
We can double that and get an estimate of where she might be at the finish.
7:35 or so at 2,500 meters, so right on 15:10 pace.
15:10. And do you think it matters to her what the time on the clock says tonight?
I think that her and her coach certainly have sort of an effort goal or a time goal that's probably conservative but aggressive. Aggressive in the sense that I imagine she wants to get a good session out of today and get a good workout. This could even be her second session of the day, but not so aggressive that she takes something out of herself for Worlds.
Bernard Galea in that second pack, getting a little bit of daylight over Mao Kogiri. And Amelia Kaiser-Gibson for the Cascadia Elite behind her. We talked to, it doesn't look like her teammate Amanda Phillips is in the field, but they both ran great races at the Rose City Mile last week. Rose City Mile put on by the Rose City Track Club out at Dunaway Track, local track here in Portland that a lot of our clubs train at here in the Landia. And Amanda Phillips took the win in 4:46. Kaiser-Gibson was second in 4:47. And I think they've been trading wins over each other this year. And they were aiming to face off again here today, but it doesn't look like Amanda Phillips made it. So I guess this one automatically goes to Kaiser-Gibson there.
You know, you can't win if you don't show up. Attendance is 90% of success, or that's something my middle school science teacher used to say. So, you know, it's proving true today. You mentioned Dunaway Track, one of the many community tracks in the great city of Portland. Maybe the most blue collar of all of them. There's a heavy bag and pull-up bars in one corner, which is very fun to finish a workout and then be cooling down and watch someone straight off the street going ham on a heavy bag.
Oh, yeah, you got me with watch someone there.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to lay into the bag. It would bruise those precious knuckles.
No. I know my place, and it's running around the track, not beating up a heavy bag, Jeff.
Safan Hassan slipping a little bit to 74s right now. She came through 3,909, but she's still got a commanding lead over the field here.
I would guess that this is maybe her last big session. She might have some heavy legs coming off a big training block, and we'll start to freshen up after this to get ready for Worlds. She never has the smooth, beautiful, flowing form you might see in a textbook, but she's very, very efficient. Right now she does look a little labored to me, so I would imagine she's got some heavy legs after some hard training.
So coming through 3,400 meters, 10:24. That was a 74.9. Her last three laps, 74.1, 74.3, and 74.9. So a bit tough out there all alone, but now we have Maria Bernard Galea, who is all alone as well, and she's got a significant gap going between herself and Amelia Kaiser-Gibson, who's worked her way into third place.
And Galea looks pretty smooth herself. She's got a nice cadence. I think she's running great today.
Galea's got a 15:51 personal best in the 5,000 meters. Safan Hassan coming onto the home straight here. The reigning Olympic champion in this event, 5,000 meters as well as the 10,000 meters. Cruising into 3,800 meters.
You said it was a 15:55 PB for Galea?
15:51.
15:51. Let's see what she's at here with 3 laps to go. I think she's gonna have a shot to get that.
So 3,800 for Safan Hassan hit in 11:39, 74 seconds per lap here at the Stumptown Twilight. And here comes Bernard Galea into the line.
12:13, so she would need 3:38, sorry, for the last 3 laps. It's a big ask, but she's been running. She ran 79 on the last lap, so she's going to need a big last lap to get under that PB.
So though Bernard Galea has distanced herself from her competitors there, she's dropped from 77s to 79 for that lap. So we'll see if she can gather herself here. And now 800 meters remaining for Safan Hassan. And we'll see what she can do in the final 2 laps. 12:53 on the clock for 4,200 meters. And that was a 73.9, so pulling it up a little bit, getting back into the 73 zone in this tune-up for the world champs. Hassan eating up track there. She's wearing bright green spikes. So you can see him just chewing up that Jesuit rubber out there. Track that's seen so many fantastic trials and races here. Last year, the Centro Mile, 3:49. Mohamed has run 12:47 on this track, which is actually, I believe, a faster track record than Hayward Field has.
I love that for Jesuit.
Yeah.
I love that for Jesuit High.
Great for the kids
Yeah.
here.
The Jesuits, they're great thinkers. They build great tracks.
It's a great track here. Good size, international size here. Great for running fast. Safan Hassan coming up to the bell lap. And the bell rings for her, 14:05 on the clock. 72.7, so bringing it back down for Safan Hassan here, 5,000 meters. And it's a foregone conclusion that she's going to be the champion here at the Stumptown Twilight.
I think she's got this one wrapped up, barring something truly wild happening. She looks good coming down the backstretch. And, yeah.
Yeah, hovering around 74 seconds, getting up almost to 75, so bringing it back down 73 and then 72. So we'll see what this last lap has for her. But about cruising into 150 to go. One of the most decorated runners of all time here, coming into the final stretch on a nice little Portland evening. The sun is shining. And Safan Hassan out here sprinting to the line. And there she is at the tape, pushing it down. 67 for the last lap, so 15:13. And it's a great training run for her out there.
Yeah.
About 50 seconds off her personal best. So that was never in jeopardy.
No, not today.
But 15:13.
And looks like some people are hot on Galea's heels here. We have Mao Kogure coming in hot with like 100 meters to go. She's going to catch Galea. Wow, this is a big kick from her. Let's see if Galea can respond. Oh, not quite.
There it is. Mao Kogure coming in. Oh, Galea did all that work, and she had a huge lead. But Kogure giving it everything she has, hitting the gas, coming in at about 16:08.7, closing in 71. And Bernard Galea, 77 for a 16:10 there. Amelia Kaiser-Gibson, 4th, 16:11, and she closed in 72. So some good racing back there. Your top 3, Safan Hassan, Mao Kogure, and Maria Bernard Galea. It's an international top 3. Netherlands, Japan, and Canada. And Kaiser-Gibson of Seattle. You can see Carrie Mack there on the screen, and Teresa Haley. Mack lives and trains in Bend. Teresa Haley, a Portland local.
Portland pilot as well.
Oh, Scott.
Yeah, we were teammates.
The Bluff.
The Bluff.
Scott, are there any local establishments you'd like to plug here while you're on
Yeah,
on camera?
I'm certainly not paid by any of these companies, nor would I ever accept their money. They're far too good to be throwing in their likes with me. But Burrito Azteca.
Sure.
Yeah, they've got 2 locations in North Portland. Go in there. You can ask for the special burrito, chips, salsa, beer, shot of tequila, $11.50. Look at that.
Here we
Safan
go.
Hassan.
Safan Hassan takes a point
Our own
there.
team ties UAC, Puma, and OTC.
A team of 1.
To 1.
And I don't think Safan Hassan has another opportunity to put a point up on the board tonight.
It's going to be awkward for the trophy maker when we cut down his trophy into fourths in order to give out to the winning teams.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how the trophy crumbles.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Safan Hassan out here she's going to be out taking pictures for a while, I think.
Absolutely.
Maybe they should set up a chair for her out there because she doesn't want to be on her feet too long. If she has potentially three championship races coming up, I don't know how doable that is with the schedule. But the 5 and 10, I think are in her sights. But who knows?
Yeah. I mean, she's she's done the 3 events before, so it's not. I mean, it's crazy to say that she would do them all, but she's done it before. So who knows really? And it seems, like she's coming down to she probably knows which ones she wants to do, and I imagine that if she's gonna scratch, she'll scratch in the next few days.
She's not tipping her hand yet, though.
No.
It's some good gamesmanship out there. You want to keep your competitors guessing. Keep them on their toes. But here we go. We got the men's 5,000 meters up now. This is the only heat of the men's 5,000. We'll have the second heat of the women's 5,000 following this. But this is a good group of local adversaries and teammates. We've got the BTC Elite in here with Chase Howard and Julian Henninger. And then some Jacuzzi boys in there as well. So as we stated before, hated rivals, bitter rivals.
Yep.
Worse than any sports teams that you can think of. The BTC Elite and the Jacuzzi boys despise each other. Won't even walk into the same Burrito Azteca, I don't think.
No, they've each got territory. It's established territory, but it's and it's not something that the other team wants to cross by any means. I personally am a Jacuzzi boy, so I will not be rooting for the Bowerman team tonight. I do think we have an unofficial J-Back versus BTC race. Nobody has set this up, but I think we've got it. Top 3 from both. We'll score them cross-country style, Jeff.
Cross-country style is the only way to go in racing, I think. Anybody who says we're going to take
cumulative
the
times?
lowest time, no, not cumulative times, please. This is about racing. But we've got Rob Heppenstall leading the guys out. He jumped in as the rabbit. He paced a few today. The 1,500 and now the 5,000.
65, so that is about 13:30 pace right off the bat. I would imagine that they'll slow down a little bit, or not too many guys will be on that pace for too long, but they're out kind of hot. One runner who could be on that pace for a while is from Club Northwest.
Well, let me stop you there first. I don't see Tom Anderson in the field.
Oh, no. Tom. I did the research. I looked up your PBs, Tom, and you let me down.
Well, we do have Liam Mayrow, who's jumped in here. I don't know how long he'll stay, but he ran the 1,500 in 3:43 earlier today, and he is a BTC Elite member. And he's up there in that second pack, but right now we've got Daniel Bernal behind Rob Heppenstall and Thomas Nobbs. Nobbs of the Thunderbirds track club out of Vancouver, Canadian. And we're pumping the beats out here too.
We are. It's a great atmosphere, Jeff.
Yeah, this is fantastic. We got the food going. We got good shade covering the track right now. The photographers are shooting hot right now.
Looks like we have a wonderful yellow lab here on the home stretch. In the stands, obviously, not on the track. No, we don't have an Air Bud type situation.
Heppenstall out here leading Bernal. And it looks like Nobbs is drifting back a little bit. But Liam Mayrow leading that second pack. And my guess is that Mayrow is working for his teammate Julian Henninger there. Julian recently ran 13:55 at the Portland Track Festival, so a huge feather in his cap to get under 14 minutes. His teammate Chase Howard of the Bowerman Track Club Elite right on his tail, and then Cole Hoff there as well of the Bowerman Track Club Elite. But you got the Jacuzzi boys sitting there, waiting, lurking.
It's what they like to do. You know, they like to soak. They like to soak it up, and then they really crank up the temperature at the end.
Kick up some bubbles.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Bernal out here. We got the camera on him. And Heppenstall still out there leading him, but he's got a little bit of a gap. And then Thomas Nobbs still about, I would say, 15 yards back, maybe 10. And now Liam Mayrow pulling the train back up to Nobbs. That's Joe Freiberger sitting behind Liam Mayrow, too. And the Jacuzzi boys in this race
seem to be, they've got a little group going a little ways back. You know, it's not what we'd like to see early as a Jacuzzi boy, but you know, I think I've got faith in them. They're doing what's right for them, and I've got to support them in their Jacuzzi journey.
About 4:23 through 1600 for Heppenstall out front. So Bernal about 4:25, we'll say, through 1600.
So 66-second laps would be 4:24 at 1600, and that is 13:45 pace.
13:45. So, and I think we can estimate that pack that Mayrow is leading is looking for probably mid 1350s. If Henninger ran 13:55, and he probably wants to step under that this evening. So Mayrow looking to pump up the crowd too. We've got some signs out here being made. I don't know what they're saying.
You know, the crowd is really, they're into it tonight. It's cool that they're all out here kind of on, you know, I mean, this isn't, you know, the World Championships are coming up. This isn't like a Diamond League meet, and we still have, what, a couple hundred people here? This is an awesome environment, and I'm psyched for these people to be able to take advantage of it.
We got the feeling of like a minor league baseball game out here, I think.
A Hillsborough Hops-esque environment. You know, before you asked me to come announce, I was going to invite you to a Portland Pickles game out in Southeast Portland, Lentz Park.
You weren't going to call.
Jeffrey, I absolutely was.
You never call. Let's see. Heppenstall. I do love the Pickles, though. I think they call it like a half A team out there.
Well, it's a Woodbat College team.
Okay. So Heppenstall out front, but now even Bernal coming back to the pack to Liam Mayrow there, who's you can see on the screen here, pumping up the fans, and there's his teammate Julian Henninger behind him.
You know, if it really comes down to it, I'm not above calling in some sort of technicalities here. It seems like a lot of these BTC athletes are wearing non-track legal shoes. I think there's going to be some DQs on the back end, and my Jacuzzi boys will pull it out.
Yeah, well... Well, yeah, we'll assess that afterwards.
Yeah, no, it's going to have to go to the judges. We'll figure it out.
I mean, that's between the Jacuzzi boys and the Bowerman Track Club Elite there too to hash that out. Maybe there are some unwritten rules, like the unwritten rules of baseball too.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm sure when they sat down and carved out the turf war and the rules that they should all abide by to take territory in the Landia. Those rules were stipulated, but we have Bernal being pulled back to the pack here. Liam Mayrow has done a lot of work. I mean, it's like Evan Jager-esque in that 5,000-meter championship, leading Grant Fisher. And in this case, it is the bun that has the work being done for him. Now Henninger goes to the front, and Bernal is sitting on him.
It looked like they came through 2,500 meters in about 7 minutes, so they're right on 14-minute pace. If they can hold this and then with a big last lap, I think low 1350s is definitely in the cards.
I think, and Henninger known for a big kick too. So this is interesting seeing him out at the front now, having to do a lot of work. But he's been known to close under 60.
I love this fight from Bernal, getting past and then hanging in there. That's really tough to do. It's easy to let your spirit break when you get past after being out front like that. I love that he's stuck on here.
Reminiscent of a cycling race, maybe like a tour. Oh, well, now Bernal comes off.
Looks like he's got a side ache.
So Henninger now has a big lead, and he's going to have to do a lot of work solo if Nobbs doesn't come back up to him. Nobbs in that second position there. And then your jacuzzi boy, Jesse Joseph there, who recently ran 4:11 at the Rose City Mile, and better known as a distance man on the roads, too. He's all over the map these days, but 5K right in the sweet spot.
Absolutely. I think when you're good at the mile and you're good at the distance stuff, that 5K seems like it should be right up your alley as well.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Julian Henninger out front. Now you can see Liam Mayrow being the hype man for his teammate. Oh, this is we don't want to see any illegal pacing there, Mayrow. Come on.
And just blatant cheating by the BTC, and I'm just we're really gonna have to consult on some of this stuff with the judges. Could even lead to some rewritten rules. I mean, this is unprecedented stuff.
Well, we'll talk to the officials, Bruce and Pete, afterwards to see what their assessment is.
I think Bruce and Pete are really gonna have to put their heads together. And I think the only right thing to do will be to award this thing to the Jacuzzi boys, regardless of the results.
Well, let's let it play out. Let's let them play first.
Yeah.
But you can see your fate is in the hands of Jesse Joseph.
My guy.
Sitting in second or third position. Julian Henninger has about a 30-meter gap on the field.
4 laps to go.
He's running 68s right now, fluctuating between 67s and 68s. Henninger out front. Jesse Joseph trying to pull that pack up to him. And we'll see if they can get there in the remaining 4 laps. This could be a wild finish here, because Henninger is off the front, working solo, trying to keep these guys away.
Mm-hmm.
And
big time Tour de France vibes here with a chaser out front. 1 mile to go, less than a mile to go. Were you going to say that?
I was thinking the same thing.
I stepped on your Tour de France thing. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm happy that we're in the same. Yeah, we're thinking the same thing right here, because I've been watching stages in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Great stage this morning. Mountains. It was very, very fun. 25% grade at certain points on the last final climb.
That's ridiculous. And gravelly up near the top, too.
Oh, brutal.
Some dirt in your teeth. And maybe Henninger was expecting some gravel out there, too, wearing the Alpha Flies, too.
Yeah.
But we're inside 3 laps to go. Henninger's got a lead of about 7 seconds on the pack. And right now, the pack he's still running, clicking off faster splits too. That was a 69 for him and a 70-second split for the pack, with his teammate Cole Hoff driving the train now. So now a little team on team.
I think this second group is going to pick up a little steam here. You saw my jacuzzi boy Jesse kind of hung out to dry for a couple laps, and now that there's been a little bit of jostling, I think that's kind of going to get him moving a little bit. I think Julian might be a little bit too far out front to catch him, but if they can have a big last lap and he runs out of gas a little bit, this thing is still anyone's race.
And Mayrow still cheering on his teammate from the inside there. This is all Henninger going into the hurt locker, trying to hold off the pack, charging after him. 2 laps remaining. Henninger is crossing the finish line, going into his final 800 meters. And Cole Hoff, his teammate, cruising past that line now with 2 laps remaining. There is now a 6-second gap. So the gap is shrinking. And your man Joseph still sitting in 3rd position in that pack.
He's hanging tough. He's coming up on the shoulder. I think he might be trying to make a move from 700 meters out.
There he is. He's going to the front again of that second pack. Shankar Lal Swami trying to make a move past Cole Hoff as well. Julian Henninger out front, And Jesse Joseph, the Jacuzzi boy, looking to hawk down BTC Elite's Julian Henninger if he has it in him. We'll see if he does.
You know, as someone who's tried to win a lot of races from 700 meters out, I can tell you, tactically, it's maybe not quite the best move. We're going to see if he's strong enough to pull it off. But 700 meters is kind of that weird middle distance where you can't quite go hard enough to break people, but you're not so far out that people get scared of how far they're going to have to cover you for.
But somebody's got to make a move. And here's the bell as Julian Henninger crosses it just outside 13 minutes, 13:05. Henninger known for his closing speed. But now he's out front and he's got the space. And Lal Swami at the front now pushing it. He was sitting behind Cole Hoff and Jesse Joseph. But Lal Swami and Cole Hoff are pushing up, trying to attach themselves, get back to Julian Henninger. But Henninger all alone driving down the back straight for the BTC Elite.
200 to go, and he's looking good still. Swami is coming, though. This is not over.
Julian channeling that Woody energy here, going to the arms, pushing with everything he has, trying to feel the lightning inside of him, the Red Lightning Express of the Bowerman Track Club. Here comes Julian Henninger down the stretch, gritting his teeth. He knows that Lal Swami is on his heels. And does he have enough? He's sprinting to the line. I think he has enough of a gap. 14:09 roughly for Julian Henninger, your Stumptown Twilight champion for the Bowerman Track Club Elite. Oh, and here, look at this race we have here on the screen. Oh, boy.
Some big kicks.
So Chase Howard being held off there for the finish. The Bowerman Track Club Elite. So Shankar Lal Swami comes in second, 14:12. Cole Hoff, third there, 14:13. Your Jacuzzi boy, Jesse Joseph, 14:17 there.
An honorable effort from Jesse. Made some big moves, big bids to try to catch Julian, and just didn't quite have the juice today. And you know what? Look, Julian ran great.
And I think for Jesse Joseph, maybe a Prefontaine move there, pushing hard from 700 out, trying to go for the win because he knew that somebody had to try and claw back that distance that Julian Henninger had created. But he dug himself in a hole a little bit and ended up in that fourth position, the most undesirable position in a race.
Yeah, and Pre knew a little bit about fourth as well, unfortunately. So I think there's some similarities there. Worse people to be in company with.
Yeah, Jesse Joseph, the Steve Prefontaine Award goes to you this evening.
Yeah. The guy who tried really hard and got fourth.
Steve Prefontaine would be a Jacuzzi boy.
Absolutely. I think that's correct.
But that is the end of the championship section for this evening. So we have a win for the Bowerman Track Club Elite on the board here for the team competition. So we're still tied up. Ones across the board, and it's going to stay that way. That's how it ends.
Yeah, we're going to need to chop the trophy up into 5 pieces, disperse it as needed, and we're going to have to figure out a better team system next year.
Well, as we said, this year, we're giving points to teams for their wins, but next year we will bring it down to top 3. Our plan is to have first place gets 5 points, second place gets 3 points, third place gets 1 point, and we'll distribute them to the teams that compete. And to all those teams that come to compete at the Portland Track Festival, like the home teams, the Bowerman Track Club, the Union Athletics Club, their rivals, the Brooks Beasts from Seattle, the Oregon Track Club from Eugene, the On Athletics Club from out in Boulder. So many great teams around this country that are assembling, and we're kind of in an interesting spot now where teams are making their way from previously just being training groups or clubs training together to full-on professional teams. It seems like we got Team Boss out there too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Out in Colorado. So it's an interesting development in the sport right now, and I think everybody wants them to be set against each other in some kind of way. So we would like to make that happen.
Yeah, and I think there certainly are some rivalries that happen in between the teams. Like, when you're just when you're a really high performers, there's a little bit of trash talk that happens. There's rivalries, and if there's a way that we can kind of bring those out of people, I think it would be, as they say, good for the sport.
Yeah. I think so. We have one last competition on the track here, and this is some more local flavor with the second heat of the women's 5,000 meters, and it is a smaller section too. So 5 athletes on the track. 6 athletes on the track, sorry. But some notable names in the Portland running scene. Alyssa Barrett of the Jacuzzi Boys Athletic Club. Lauren Ross, the president of the Rose City Track Club. Bryn McKillop is in here. Emily Jones. Shasta Zilke of the Rose City Track Club as well. And Olivia Cotby of the Jacuzzi Boys Athletic Club. So Rose City and Jacuzzi Boys on the Mount Rushmore of clubs in the Portland area here.
The Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
There's 4. Or like the top 4, huh?
Oh, man.
You got it. Who doesn't make it?
I mean, we do things a little differently here in Portland. So
more than 4.
There's more than 4 people on Mount Rushmore.
Very inclusive of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need that mountain to be a little bigger so we could chisel it up a little bit.
Yeah, how very participation trophy of you. Portland's really changed you.
Oh, come on.
You went to school in the Midwest. You learned about winners and losers, and here you are giving away spots on Mount Rushmore to everyone who organizes a running team. Jeff.
All right, currently the Mount Rushmore 4 teams, 4 clubs in the Portland area. I give it to the Jacuzzi Boys, the Bowerman Track Club Elite, the Rose City Track Club, and the Red Lizards.
Okay.
That is the top 4 currently, and that's not to say that can't change. So that's where the competition comes in, everybody. Stake your claim. And you can do that this fall at the Red Lizard Cross Country Series, too.
When does that start, Jeff?
September, I think, and then there's typically 5 races, and they run every 2 weeks. So that is those are traditional battlegrounds.
Yeah.
For the clubs in Portland.
At various parks around the city. Pier Park, Fern Hill, other places where Lentz Park, other places where you might go to log some miles and see someone LARPing.
You definitely might see people LARPing in those parks. That's exactly right. Maybe some axe throwing. They set up a full cage for that too.
Thank goodness.
It's a very safe thing.
You know, when I was in college here at Pier Park, they would just throw axes with no cages. So I'm glad that now it's a dedicated axe throwing arena.
You went to college during the dark ages.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we had to hunt for our food. You know,
hunt on the bluff.
Yeah, that's why they were throwing the axes.
I see.
Yeah.
So here we are. We've got traditional teams out on the track here with the Jacuzzi Boys and the Rose City Track Club.
600 meters in.
Bryn McKillop in front, followed by Lauren Ross, and then Emily Jones. Shasta Zilke and Olivia Copy working together. So we do have 5 athletes. It looks like Alyssa Barrett chose to bow out of this competition this evening. But yeah, what might you do following a Red Lizard cross country series race? Which I'm biased, but I think it is one of the best cross country series in the country. And it takes on a local flavor. Every once in a while, you'll get some of the top athletes from the local professional teams jump in and race them, but there is team scoring in these cross country races between clubs, and that is where the Jacuzzi Boys and the Bowerman Track Club Elite really come to blows.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is this obviously everyone cares a lot about this. This is preseason. That's something my coach at Portland used to say. Track is training for cross country. It's off-season training for cross country. I think this is a great opportunity for the Jacuzzi Boys, the BTC, the Rose City to stretch their legs out before they hit the mud in the fall.
Yeah, I think, well, let's not get out of hand and say that track is preseason for cross country because this is a track-heavy city here, too. In my opinion, it is one of the, if not the premier track cities in the United States. I mean, Portland likes to think of itself as a very European-like like city.
Sure.
They've adopted soccer or global football.
Yeah. Football.
Yeah, they call it
Yeah.
Soccer City with the Timbers and the Thorns. So yeah, it is. Track falls right into that. I mean, we should call it the Portland Athletics Festival, I think.
Absolutely, I think so. I mean, you'd probably need to get some throws, some jumps, in order to call it. If they're just running around the track, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
But we could get someone coming up from Eugene. Get the Krausers, give him a little homecoming.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get to compete in front of his home fans in Eugene very often. So if he comes up to Portland, I think his family would make the trip.
We would make that happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'd be happy to.
Yeah. The throws pit might need to get extended.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were looking at it. That's actually something we were looking at when we were out at the Electric Forest earlier this year. Like, yeah, I don't think this is far enough. This isn't Krauser certified.
That would kind of be fun in and of itself. It's like, hey, Ryan, like we'll give you $500 for every one of your shots that goes out of the arena. The kids can take it home, like a baseball.
A souvenir for a lucky fan.
Yeah.
Everybody bring your mitts
Mm-hmm.
to the stadium. Here we go. We still have Bryn McKillop up here in front, and everybody is running. Well, we were running 84s out here, and that last lap was an 82, so bringing it back down. They're cruising into the 1,600-meter mark here. McKillop has done all of the work through this first mile. And about 5:32, Lauren Ross in second. Then Emily Jones. But following a Red Lizard cross country series race, I mean, you have to go to Burrito Azteca, I think.
I think so, particularly if it's Fern Hill or if it's Pier Park. I mean, you're too close to pass up that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Lens Park, I could see where maybe you go to a place like Conquistador, maybe you go to Robo Taco.
Yeah.
Matador even, depending on.
Matador, if you like margaritas, you go
right.
there, I think.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of good burrito. This is an underrated burrito town. A lot of people want to point to San Diego and LA as the best burrito cities in the country.
Well,
Portland is right there.
Have they been to Lodi, California?
I don't think many people have, Jeff. I think that's
You're right.
we've got the king of Lodi here. Let's hear it for Lodi.
Yeah, not many people have been to Lodi, California, but great town and a fantastic burrito and taco town, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some great Mexican food there, great Mexican cuisine. But I mean, when you go to Burrito Azteca, the dish that you have to get there is the special.
The special, yeah, but specifically the special with the Super Azteca burrito.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because when I was going there a lot, 2012, 2013, 2014, I started asking for the Azteca burrito, just the regular Azteca. And I asked, can you put a chili relleno in there? First time, the guy on the other side of the counter, he said, I don't have a button for that price. I said, charge me whatever you think is fair. I ordered this for 3-4 years. Now it's on the menu. And I think if you want the best burrito experience, like a chicken burrito, a beef burrito, a steak burrito with a chili relleno in it, it's unmatched.
That's a full meal wrapped in a tortilla there.
Absolutely.
So we still have Bryn McKillop out here in the front too. She has done all of the work. No changes in the order throughout this race. Everybody is content to stay in their spots. Shasta Zilke still doing the work out of that tandem with Olivia Cotby there. Bryn McKillop out front, Lauren Ross in second, and Emily Jones in that first trio. And it looks to be like they're spreading out a little bit, not completely detaching. This is that marathon screen that you're all too familiar with, or that the distance always looks a little closer than it actually is. But there's a better view of the distance between them.
And it looks like Bryn might bust this thing open in the next lap or two. The gap's grown a tiny bit, but it's not. The rubber band is still intact. But I think if she really has a few hard laps here, she could kind of break it open.
Yeah, and Lauren Ross, an unofficial, maybe an official, I'm not sure, but an unofficial captain of the Portland team at the Portland versus Seattle 3K. And initially, we counted it as a win for Portland there. But after we went to the tape and saw that one of the Seattle runners was obscured by his teammates in the finish camera, we had to score another point there. And then the Cascadian Axe, went up I-5 to Seattle, which was a devastating blow to the Portland team after they had already been invited into the living room for an interview, received
tough.
the axe.
That's tough.
And every bar and restaurant that was airing the broadcast in the city toasted the team. And it was rough.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what stokes these rivalries, and they'll face off next year in the Electric Forest again.
Absolutely. You need controversy in these things, and I think a scoring controversy is only going to make this better in years to come.
I think so too. I'm not pleased that it happened. I was devastated as a Portlander.
Of course.
But I'm excited for next year.
Yeah.
Now, Bryn McKillop is stretching this out. So she's running, they've consistently been running between 82 and 84 seconds per lap. And they're coming up to 3,000 meters here. McKillop is coming up to 3,000 meters.
And if she can just squeeze this pace down a little bit more in the next 2 laps, I think she'll have this thing put away.
10:26 through 3,000. And that was an 84-second lap for McKillop and 87 for Lauren Ross and Emily Jones. So stretching out the lead here.
84-second laps is about 17:40 pace. So if she can, I don't know what she was at, what her Ks were, but that's going to be, that'd be a nice time for her if she can hold that.
Yeah, and she's doing all the work up front. This is wire to wire at this point. She doesn't have the benefit of a Liam May Rowe to her Julian Henninger out here. But she doesn't look too fazed by it. She knows the task at hand, and she's tackling it. Hopefully some Burrito Azteca for her in the future.
I hope everyone gets some Burrito Azteca. I think it would just be right if everyone went there. It would just be great for them. They would love it.
Mm-hmm. McKillop out there. So that was 3,400 meters at 11:50. Another 84. So she's clicking off 84s like clockwork here, like
Great
a metronome.
Tempo. Great tempo.
And many of these women out here too are longer road racers. So marathon, half marathon. There's some great local training groups like we've been talking about that focus on the marathon. But it's nice in Portland where you have the opportunity to compete on the track in a 5,000 or even in the Rose City Mile, and then hit the cross country course, and then be able to run a marathon. So there's something for you at every part of the season to mix it up and get excited about and train for something different.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any other city in the country that prioritizes, sub-elite running at the same level as Portland, and has so many opportunities to race at like a pretty high level for someone who's not a professional runner.
Which is why there's such a gregarious fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Scott.
Yeah. Well, it's a culture. It's a culture.
It is.
It's a culture of racing. It's a culture of sport. It's a culture of cheering.
Yeah. I think, we call it Soccer City here, but it's also Athletics City.
Yeah. Could it be Running City?
It could be.
It could be Running City. A lot of athletics companies' headquarters.
That's right.
Sorry.
We're being told by our production head that Portland is Trackland.
Trackland.
Yeah.
Yes, Trackland. I don't necessarily love that nickname if you've got a cross country series. I think it should be more inclusive,
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong? Why can't we acknowledge cross country?
We can.
Yeah.
Maybe, Crosslandia,
Mm-hmm.
Tracklandia.
I don't stand for cross country erasure. I don't.
Okay. Oh, as a Portland pilot, you
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, storied program there.
Absolutely. Multiple podiums. You know, I think we're 4-0 in the last 4 regionals against some school down in Eugene. I don't know. I've never heard of it. Apparently, some people like it, but 4-0 in regionals the last couple of years. So
We like the Portland Pilots up
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Fans of that team down south too. But yeah, I was talking to Woody Kincaid recently, and he said that you hosted him on his recruiting visit to
did.
Portland.
Yeah.
And that he liked you and David Perry,
Mhm.
and that he liked you guys because you drank PBR and you didn't care if he came there or not,
Yeah.
which were his exact words.
Yeah. We wanted him to come. Obviously, we wanted all the recruits to come, but ultimately, we were gonna be fine either way.
But
Yeah. Woody had an interesting recruiting trip. Came to UP. We stayed in our room because Woody and I grew up in neighboring towns, and as a good host, I was offering him my bed. I said, Woody, please sleep in my bed. I'll sleep on the couch. We had a little couch in our dorm room. He said, No, Scott, you sleep in your bed. I couldn't take your bed. You're hosting me. So that's kind of my point is I'm hosting you. You should sleep in the bed. He said, No, I'll sleep on the couch. I said, all right, not going to argue with you anymore. He's laying down in the bed, or in the couch, sorry. Right before we go to sleep, his head shoots up and he said, just so you guys know, sometimes I sleepwalk when I sleep in weird places.
oh no!
It's like, great. Have a good night, buddy.
Sometimes I sleepwalk at 25-second 200.
Yeah.
So look out.
Little did I know at that point that strange, beautiful little man would be an Olympian in multiple events, be going to his another world championships. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, the Woodman.
The Woodman.
Beloved by Portland.
Yeah.
And McKillop here still putting in the work, and that was 85 for the last 2 laps. But she's coming up to the bell lap here. So this is the final lap for the Stumptown Twilight tonight as we close it out with the second heat of the women's 5,000 meters. And they ring the bell for Bryn McKillop, who has a commanding lead here, not unlike Safan Hassan. But Lauren Ross here coming in second to her bell lap. 16:21 on the clock. And she's clicking off 87s. McKillop with an 84 on that penultimate lap. And then Emily Jones in third there. She's dropped to 91s, but hanging in there for third. And McKillop now pouring it on. What do you think? Is she going to get under 80 in this last lap?
Man, I hope so. She certainly seems to be picking it up here. 100 meters to go. I hope she really rips this last stretch. And looks like she's trying to.
Coming on to the home straight here, Bryn McKillop. Here in Heat 2, the women's 5,000 meters, Stumptown Twilight. In a beautiful evening here in Portland, Oregon. And the finishing tape is out. Time on the clock. 17:24.
Good for her. Hell yeah.
And
So cool.
a 79.
Nice.
Under 80 seconds for the final lap as we get the shot of Lauren Ross coming in for second here. Lauren Ross of the Rose City Track Club. Coming in under 18 minutes, so 17:46 on the clock. And Emily Jones kicking in for third.
Also sub 18. Good for her. A little stop of the watch. You want to be able to get your splits right for Strava.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a big Strava guy now.
Really?
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, I follow you.
Mhm.
And I always like your routes, but you never acknowledge anything I do.
Jeff, I've got 13,000 followers on Strava. I can't pick out the individual likes.
See, this is why I won't believe you when you say you're going to call and ask me to go to a Pickles game. I want some kudos, man.
You'll get a follow tonight, Jeff.
Oh, thank God. Nobody else follow me. I'm private, by the way. I like my privacy. And here we go. Shasta Zilke in for fourth there. And that is it for the evening here. I think Olivia Cotby, we got a DNF there. But she's running across the field, so everything's okay. But, Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in the booth here this evening.
Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and interview actually for your job. Little do people know, next year I'll be the main of the Portland track feeds. Say goodbye to Jeff. He's had a nice run, but it's my turn now.
Yeah, guys, the production team and I think everybody else in the stands have voted.
Yeah.
And I'm out. So
yeah.
It's been a pleasure to be with you all on all of these broadcasts. But Scott, I look forward to what you will bring to future broadcasts. And thank you again for being here on this evening where we've seen a five-way tie, I think, for first place in the team competition, and a beautiful evening here at the Stumptown Twilight 2022 edition. Make sure to join us in 2023. We're gonna have a lot of amazing things coming up in Portland for the local meets in 2023. That's next year, right? Yeah, 2023. So be on the lookout for some announcements. And this is Track City USA, Athletic City USA, Running City, Crosslandia, Trackland, all that stuff. So thank you for joining us.
If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a great evening. And Jeff, thank you for having me.
Yeah, smash that subscribe button and the interns eat tonight.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to the Taco Bell drive-thru. We'll see you later.